craziest performances by Nikola Jokic I've ever seen, and not in a good way. The fat flopper returned. Keyonte George is a superstar. Let's talk about it. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. All right, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're on Twitch, make sure you give me a follow. And if you're on the podcast, I would really appreciate a 5-star review. By the way, if you can go to Spotify and follow the podcast on there, if you haven't already, it's growing, and that would be great. We're getting close to monetization on Spotify, which would be pretty darn cool just to help the podcast grow. So anyways, unbelievable performance by Nikola Jokic, and not in a good way. It was truly awful. And, you know, I was happy with the outcome in that the Jazz got the loss, which was important. But my goodness, was that game one of the worst officiated games to end that I have ever seen. That was truly special rigging of a game by referees in a long time. People on here want to talk about rigging of the lottery. Anyone who says that, stop listening to that person. I have to say, I guess Scotty G on the radio during the day is literally talking about that, the lottery getting rigged, which is extremely disappointing that a local person that supposedly knows a lot about the sports world and things would be talking about. It's crazy. But anyways, that aside, if you want to talk about actual rigging, this game, now it rigged in the Jazz's favor, which I'll always take. Now, and by the way, just a quick note on rigging of the lottery. I know there's a bunch of you that'll make a comment like, oh, bro, it's actually rigged. No, you don't actually know. They're never going to let the Jazz. It's rigged. It's rigged. It's rigged. Okay, explain to me in the comments how they rigged the lottery. How do they do it? You need to scientifically explain how they make the lottery balls in the lottery ball machine work so that it rigs against the Jazz. You need to explain. This isn't like the frozen envelope with Patrick Ewing and that conspiracy theory. The lottery is run like a raffle, guys. The more, Utah needs to get to 4 or 3, and these percentages right here are based off of number of raffle tickets. That's how it works. It is just like the raffle at the fair. That's what it is. And they split up 1,001 raffle tickets between these 14 teams. I think the last team on here gets 1 to 3. I can't remember what it is. But these top 3 get 125 raffle numbers. Utah, if they're at 5, will get 42, 10.5% of the raffle tickets. Each of these teams gets 14% of the raffle tickets. That's what this means. So if they're going to rig it, and then how does it work? They have the lottery ball machine. They have media and owners in there that watch it happen. And they have the 9 lottery balls in there, or however many it is. And they draw lottery balls. And each lottery ball has a number 0 through 9 on there. And they draw 4 of them. And they draw 4 numbers. And it says 0, 9, 2, 8. Whoever has that raffle ticket gets the number 1 pick. That's how it works. That's literally how it works. So if you're saying that the lottery is rigged, you need to explain how somehow they picked those lottery balls, tricked everyone in that room, who, by the way, every single one is a billionaire owner with vested interest in winning the lottery, and you are going to have to trick every single one of them in front of their face and somehow rig the lottery. So it happens. You need to explain how they got the right lottery ball to fly into the bouncing ball machine that pops up like the vacuum and do it, okay? And if you can explain how they do that, then great. I'm willing to listen. But that's why it always is annoying to me when someone says, well, it's actually rigged. They rigged the lottery. Blah, 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 blah. Well, then explain it, because I've done the work. I went in and read about it and studied it and figured out how it works. It takes time to just figure it out. And the way to simplify it is the raffle ticket thing. Anyways, this whole thing, that was something I wanted to get off my chest, because there's people that say that every single day, and it's annoying that someone on local Utah sports radio would say something as moronic as the lottery is rigged. It is not rigged. It is not. It's not. I would love for that cope to be real, but that's what drives me crazy about the lottery is rigged. Oh, it's rigged against the Jazz. They don't want the Jazz to win. Maybe they don't. I'm sure Adam Silver is much happier if another team rigs. The reality is that is a way to cope, because you did not do what you had to do to win the lottery. The Houston Rockets have not won the number 1 pick, and they are a playoff team because they tanked correctly. Utah did not tank correctly the first 2 years, so you cannot complain that it's rigged or that it's all rigged against you, because you did not do the work. That is a rule of life and a rule of this world. If you do not do the work, do not expect the best outcome. You may get lucky once in a while, and sometimes that happens. But the teams that tank get up there. Everyone who talks about tanking not working doesn't talk about how the Charlotte Hornets got the number 4 pick last year. They got up there. They don't talk about how the Spurs got lucky and jumped. Why would they rig the lottery for the San Antonio Spurs? That doesn't make any sense at all. If you were rigging the lottery, why would you give the number 1 pick to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Anthony Edwards? Why would you do that? Why did they give 3 top picks to Cleveland in a row? Why? All these things are cute and interesting, fun little stories, but they're cope, because you didn't do the work. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. That's why we complained on this channel for literal years. Literal years. And that's the thing, guys. We can talk about the lottery. It's not like the lottery where you hear it from some office somewhere and they say what the numbers are. This ain't the Powerball. It's it's literally in front of the owners. They watch it happen. They have reporters come in there every time. Sarah Todd's been in there. Andy Larson's been in there. Aaron Falk has been in there. All these people have been in there. And I can assure you, they were watching for something. It is what it is. But don't tell me, sorry, I had to get into that. Okay, Nikola Jokic is extremely fat and extremely overrated. And every single defender of Nikola Jokic is not going to say a single word after tonight. I don't want to hear about Nikola Jokic ever again. He is so obese and so overweight. And when I watched that fight between him and Jalen Williams on the Oklahoma City Thunder, the only thing I came away from that was his body fat percentage is pathetic, and his man boobs jiggled in a way that made me uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable. It suddenly got to PG-13, maybe worse. And everyone's like, oh, his eyes. Oh, his eyes. He didn't do anything. Do literally anything. Throw a punch. Do literally anything. Dort was right. Dort was true. Dort spoke truth. And he was right in what he did. Free Lou Dort. Free Lou Dort. Free Lou Dort. What Jokic did tonight was incredible. You can go watch. I tried to retweet on my Twitter all the garbage that is Nikola Jokic. I can't believe he's single-handedly going to make Oklahoma City Thunder a sympathetic figure again. because of how pathetic his style of play is. Just play basketball. I don't want to hear again how fun Nikola Jokic is to watch. Everyone who gets on my back when I get on there and I try to tell you the truth, I'm trying to tell you, look at this guy. It's freaking pathetic. It's every single night. If you think this is new, it is not. It is not. Go watch a Denver Nuggets game, please. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Stop having like Zach Lowe or Bill Simmons shape your opinion of who this guy is. It is, if we want to talk about ethical hoops and ethical tanking, there is literally nothing ethical about what Nikola Jokic does on a basketball court. And people have the audacity, the absolute audacity to talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and his flopping, whatever, his foul baiting. I have not seen Shai Gilgeous-Alexander do anything close to what Nikola Jokic did tonight. And this is on the reg, all right? This is a regular occurrence, and I'm begging you. Watch a Nuggets game. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And you won't see I didn't see a tweet from Zach Lowe tonight. I'm going to go check it right now. I didn't see a single one from Bill Simmons tonight. Not a single one. Let's see. Let's make sure. Here's the tweet from Bill Simmons. Niederhauser and Keita has a real chance to be this generation's Russell Chamberlain. Okay. Okay, Bill. Fine. That's great. Shout out to the Boston Celtics. And he's being tongue-in-cheek there. He's not saying a single word about Nikola Jokic, the greatest player in the history of the NBA. I watched Kyle Filipowski absolutely cook the gristle on those chubby bones of Nikola Jokic all night. I watched Keyonte George play ethical hoops all night. There was nothing ethical about what Nikola Jokic did tonight. And lest we forget, the one title that Nikola Jokic has was against 3 injured teams in the Western Conference on his way to playing the 8th seed Miami Heat, who got there somehow over a choking Boston Celtics team. Speaking of Bill Simmons, I don't want to hear it about Nikola Jokic ever again. I don't want to hear MVP talk about Nikola Jokic ever again. It was absolutely pathetic what we saw. The defense is truly atrocious. And by the way, if we're talking Nuggets tonight, because they're every blog boy's favorite team since I've been blogging on the internet, it's absolutely unbelievable. Like Andy Bailey ain't going to say nothing tonight. You can absolutely count on that. This will be forgotten in all the annals of blog boy history. Not a single one will talk about it. Not a single one. Truly, truly pathetic. Let's go to the advanced stats for everyone who just loses their mind over Nikola Jokic. Oh my gosh, Nikola Jokic. Defensive rating. Get off my screen. Where are the Denver Nuggets now? The Denver Nuggets are the number 21 defense, and that is 100% because of Nikola Jokic. If you watched tonight, you could see why. It was truly pathetic. All right, did I get my druthers out about the lottery and about Nikola Jokic? Can we please stop and just deal with truth, please? Please. 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 Can we just deal in truth for once? Please. All day I see disinformation. All right. So the Utah Jazz have a superstar in Keyonte George. Keyonte George, if you want to talk about ethical hoops, 14 for 22, 63% on the white whale that is Nikola Jokic. Moby Dick. Moby Brick, more like it. Keyonte George absolutely driving by. I'm happy with the outcome. The basketball gods blessed us for our ethical hoops tonight. And believe me, there will be problems in the future for Nikola Jokic and this Denver Nuggets team for this blasphemy that we watched tonight. True blasphemy. But Keyonte George earned the Utah Jazz tonight absolutely karma points in the lottery. Perhaps tonight is when we won the lottery. By the way, one other thing. I wanted the Jazz. I don't even care if the Jazz win the lottery at this point. Would I love to see the Jazz get Darren Peterson and AJ DeBonsa? Yes. And if they lose the lottery, am I going to be sad? Yes. But the biggest reason I want to win the lottery is that I never have to hear the words rigged against the Jazz ever again. Ever again. The biggest evidence that there is no rigging against the Jazz is how mad the NBA has been at the Jazz. If the NBA knew that they were rigging things against the Jazz, why would they be so mad at them? If in the end they know that the Jazz are not going to get the pick, right? That they, then why would they be mad at the Jazz? Well, maybe someone would say, well, the TV revenue or the fans or blah, blah, blah. The Jazz had a full stadium tonight for a team that's won 18 games. The Jazz have the best fans in the NBA, no question. But if the NBA was worried about the Jazz winning the lottery, why would they be so mad at them? The reason they are mad at them is because they are afraid of what might happen, right? The Jazz can win the lottery just like anyone else. It just takes some luck, and it just takes some karma. And Keyonte George, we should call him Karma Keyonte George because he plays with ethical hoops. 14 for 22 from the field, 4 for 9 from 3, 4 for 5 from the free throw line. If you are looking at percentages from home, that's 63% from the field, 44% from 3, and he missed one free throw, so that's 80%. Truly pristine numbers from our superstar. And I'm not hearing anything online complaining about Keyonte George's body language tonight. Not a single word was said. Not one. Some of us watched the games in his rookie season and his second year. And some of us watched him get iced out by guys like Jordan Clarkson. Talk about unethical hoops from the likes of Kelly Olynyk and Colin Sexton and Jordan Clarkson and the likes. Right? No. We talked about Keyonte George and his body language. All of you guys remember that if you get cheated or you get dirty dogged at work for some reason, for something that wasn't your fault, could you imagine something like that happening to you and you feeling very angry and then going online and having all of these people badmouth you because you frowned? Could you imagine? It was maddening. I nearly lost my mind in so many. I did on this channel. You watched it happen. And I argued with people on the comment section of my own channel. My own community. Well, we can all see now that truly Keyonte George was everything we hoped for. I can fairly say that from day one, from the first 5 minutes I watched him play, I said, he's got it. He's got it. You could see it. The moment these guys step on the floor, you can see, because there is a difference between college and NBA. There just is. And there are certain guys that when they get on the floor, they can get their shot. That is one of the things you've got to do when you are scouting these players in college. The numbers, stop telling me numbers, by the way. Stop telling me about Acuff's numbers. Stop it. I don't want to hear about Kingston Fleming's numbers again. I've seen this story before. What I want to see is when I watch him play basketball, how does he get his shots? Where does he get his shots? What do the shots look like? What type of shots are they? How quickly is he getting them off? Is he taking shots that he can take in the NBA? I don't want to I don't want to hear any more of this true shooting percentage, negative, positive, plus, minus, warp, dorp, single, vorp. I don't want to hear any of that. I want to watch them play basketball, and how do they look? Because when I saw Keyonte George step on the floor day one in Summer League, you saw it. You saw it. And the numbers were there, by the way, in Summer League too. And you would see flashes of it in his rookie season and his second year. And by the end of his second season, you were seeing it on the reg. The 3-point percentage rose. And we watched it here on this channel when everyone else was tweeting out for some reason they were proud of themselves for not watching the Jazz. Well, the Hoops nerds were watching every single one of you. Jazz Forge, you were there. Ja 1871, you were there. The All-Stars were there. The Jazz Hoops nerds were there. And we watched it. We watched it night after night. And the only thing that had to change was the efficiency and some shot selection. And it happened. We all knew. We all knew. It just was a matter of time. Was there a hint of doubt? Well, perhaps. The doubt was that could he stop taking some of those bad shots? But then he, even beyond my hopes, did he improve this season? Because I felt like it was going to happen gradually. 8 percentage points in one season. But we saw that he could take all these shots. He could get all these shots. He could get the mid-range. He could drive to the basket. He could shoot the three, catch and shoot, spot up, step back, off, over the screen, all of it. He could do all of it. Incredible. And now we're just seeing it. And next year, he's going to be even better. And by the way, the defense was better than people gave him credit for. There are certain people that are in exile that said a lot of things about Keyonte George and his defense, and they turned out to be incorrect. They turned out to be incorrect. There were plays tonight that if you watch this game closely and you do not watch it with an evil agenda or a biased eye towards evil and the bad guys, if you watch it with an unbiased eye looking for the truth, you will see that he did solid, that Keyonte George is not going to be a weakness for the Utah Jazz defense next year. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And by the way, like I said, if the Jazz don't win the lottery, they're still going to be really good next year and really fun. And I hope they draft Nate Ament because he's going to be a good NBA player. Mark it down. Mark it down. Can I get an amen? Like Jazz Forge has said so sagely. But if they win the lottery, incredible. I would love to have AJ DeBonce on this team, not even necessarily for the offense, but for the defense and the length and the size. Utah is going to be huge next year, literally huge, where you've got 7-footers at 3 positions on the floor at all times. And then you've got an absolute sniper in Keyonte George, sniping you from every spot. And if you try to double him, then they will move the ball to either Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., or Walker Kessler near the basket. Oh, and by the way, they'll have a new draft pick at the 2 or Ace Bailey at the 2, who is getting better every single game. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The Jazz are going to be so good. So good next year. And do not be surprised when the Jazz are a top 3 team in the Western Conference next year. And you know what? Let's just call it top 3. Let's say top 4 next year. NBA standings. Let's look at it right here. I'm telling you right now, Utah next year, they are going to be in this range. Absolutely. Absolutely. I can see them outdoing the Rockets. I can see them outdoing the Wolves. Thunder and Spurs is going to be tough, but Utah is going to be tough too. Good luck. And if Utah wins the lottery, then sky's the limit. Sky is the absolute limit. Yeah, Ace Bailey, all Ace Bailey needs is time and experience, and that's what he's getting, and it's awesome what we're seeing. I have to say, we got to go through these guys. Truly, like, oh my gosh, I was pumped for this one. This was such a good one, guys. By the way, we got to check Twitch real quick. Let's see. We got like bots and stuff on Twitch. I don't know. But let's see. So, Ace Bailey. The story of the game is Keyonte George. Truly incredible. A -4. He kept the Jazz in this game. 30 minutes, scores 36 points in 30 minutes on 22 shots with 2 assists, 4 steals. Just absolute sniper tonight, Keyonte George. Karma Key. All right? The Karma Key. It was incredible tonight. Ace Bailey is just getting better. And what got me absolutely... So I watch these games, like I tell you guys, I watch these at the gym. If you see me at the gym on that treadmill, on the incline, watching Jazz games, I was like so pumped. And it was not necessarily for the offense. The offense from Ace Bailey is just getting better. Oh, we do got to watch one. Oh my gosh, we got to watch this one. This is what I've been talking about. Okay, so running layup shot right here. Yes, mama. This thing was absolutely... Oh, this was a transition bucket. Love that, by the way. But driving layup shot. Okay, so running, is that for transition? Look at this. So this is what I've been begging for. Begging for this. Ace Bailey gets the ball, and this is with Collier, so they're going to have Ace Bailey initiate more. Look, does not pass the ball away. That's been my biggest issue is, I want Ace Bailey in situations like this to ISO because he has that in his game, and I want it to get better. Look at this. He just pulls over, drives, full speed, and lays it in. Now, Jokic is the worst defender in the history of the league. Look at this. What is this? That is the stance my kids made when they put a poop in their diaper. This is just bad. Just drives. But this, what makes me so happy is look at how Ace gets this. Gets the ball in ISO. Figures out how to make a move to get past his man and lays it up. That is big time for Ace Bailey. More of that, please. More of that, please. And then not only that, but it's the defense that Ace Bailey has. There were plays where he was guarding Jokic, and Jokic was not happy with it. In fact, I think this play, does it show the fouls? No, they don't let us look at the fouls. Because there was a defensive play that Ace Bailey made, and Nikola Jokic took it out on Svi Mikhailiuk and threw him down. I hate Jokic. I just hate him. He's my most hated player in the NBA. Number 1 most hated player for me personally. I have hated that guy for years. I hate him. I hate him so much. I hate him so much. But anyways, but I just have to say what I really enjoyed too with Ace Bailey tonight. Solid ethical numbers for Ace Bailey, 42% from the field, also 2 for 5 from 3. Like if Utah doesn't win the lottery and Ace Bailey's playing at the 2, and if he's shooting 40% from 3 next to Keyonte George, and he can drive to the basket like he did there, doesn't matter. Everything is gravy. I mean, I think Utah's going to jump even. I mean, oh, by the way, freaking Trae Young got a technical foul off the bench. So he was slated to play against the Jazz in that Washington game, but now he might be suspended. Unbelievable. The basketball gods have to bless the Jazz with a loss in that game. We deserve it. We deserve it. We deserve it. But anyways, I like one thing that I'm loving with Ace Bailey is the defense. Just unbelievable, and he's playing with more physicality on the defensive end to the point where he is just imposing his will. He is gaining awesome rapport with the corrupt and awful officials, so that they will actually not call him for fouls when he doesn't foul. He's just getting better every night. And a lot of that improvement, you're not always seeing it on just the offensive end. It's the defensive end as well. He has been a solid rebounder since he's entered the league. Tonight, just 4 rebounds, but that's pretty good. This was a tough rebounding night. I mean, the Nuggets started the game with Valanciunas and Jokic as their front line. That is a monster rebounding duo. So it's probably not surprising that Utah had some rebounding issues with these guys. But I love what I'm seeing from Ace Bailey on the defensive end. Offensively looking good. Like if he's still consistently shooting that 3. He had a real rough patch there for a good 3-4 weeks. So these 3-point shooting numbers for the season are probably not going to look very good. Although 33% is better than I thought. And if he's shooting 40% on nights like tonight, and if he for the rest of the season, he's going to bump that up to like 34, 35. That's pretty exciting, actually. And he's doing a lot of these threes. These aren't just like catch and shoot threes, which are the easiest ones. These are also step back threes. Like these 2 he made here. Let's see. Let's watch them. Oops. Where are we? So look, he's getting this step back, finding space, knocking it down. Like these are not just like catch and shoot corner threes, which is fine, but these are just higher level of difficulty. Look, he's going to get this ball off a screen here. Or no, he's just going to get a catch and shoot here, I believe. No, wait, look at this. Hand in his face, knocks it down. These are solid. And I tell you what, his shooting in the mid-range is going to get better. You can just tell he's not quite there where he's finding a comfort level and finding his go-tos and how to get to his go-tos. But he's slowly figuring it out. And that's why this end of the season is so valuable, because each game is practice for Ace Bailey. It really is just such positive momentum for him as a player. It's great. We don't even necessarily have to win the lottery this year. There's going to be a good prospect on the Jazz from this draft. And it's like they don't even need him, but they're going to get him because they need to keep their pick. They do need another player. I guess I shouldn't say they don't need him. They need another prospect on the team because Utah is now capped out. So you need as much young talent on this team to supplement how big of salaries you're going to have. Because guess what? Keyonte George is going to get paid here soon. Just like Walker Kessler is going to get paid, well, Keyonte George is also going to get paid, and Utah's cap is done. So they need this player on the Jazz 100%. Why? Because they're not going to be able to add a player of this caliber through free agency. You can usually do it through trade by once or twice. We saw that with Jaren Jackson Jr. You can sometimes get those trades, and we've talked about how awesome that trade was. Utah might win the lottery, and there's just no way they get a player like DeBonsa or Peterson without winning the lottery. So we still need luck. Still got to happen. Cody Williams only played 11 minutes tonight. I think he was just not being super effective, and Will sat him. He did make the one basket he took, and I do like what defense he plays, but it was not effective tonight for whatever reason. Filipowski played a lot of minutes tonight. Sorry, guys. It's late. What I loved about this performance from Filipowski is how he drove on Jokic. He had a great night scoring the ball on Nikola Jokic. Now, not a good night defending Jokic, but that's fine. Rarely does anyone. But 8 rebounds, 6 assists. This might be Kyle Filipowski's best game of the year. No question. He was scoring on Jokic time after time. And I've been super hard on Kyle Filipowski, but tonight he deserves props. He played well. He played hard. 29 minutes, and he was really valuable in those minutes because he was able to score and not let Jokic hide, because Jokic tries to hide on defense because, he hides like he does in the kitchen at night, sneaking fudge at 3 a.m, so that was, Filipowski took advantage, and it was great. I love Elijah Harkless, and for a guy that went over 5 from the field and over 4, and I guess thankfully so. How he can't consistently shoot the ball, but then in the G League he scores. I guess it just tells you how much different the defense is in the NBA compared to the G League. But 0 for 5, 0 for 4 from 3, and I loved every minute of it. It was incredible. Is anyone in the laundry room? Oh, okay. I thought it was a ghost. Sorry. Anyways, Filipowski, let's see, where was I? Oh, Elijah Harkless goes 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3. 3 assists, 2 steals. He was like my favorite watch of the night tonight. In fact, can we watch this turnover? I think, oh, look at this, 7 turnovers from Jamal Murray. He had problems, and they came from our guy, Elijah Harkless. Where was it? Traveling turnover right here. This was the play of the game. Incredible. Look at this defense from Harkless. Does not let Murray even have an inch. Gets him off his spots, forces him to move his pivot foot, and it's the travel. It was incredible. And I know Jamal Murray had a big night tonight, but Elijah Harkless, this is why you love this guy. And you just hope he can figure out how to shoot the ball on an NBA floor. Come on. Because the defense is so good. If he can figure out how to do this, like the shooting thing, he becomes a really valuable player. Like a really valuable one. But he does have to shoot the ball, right? As good as his defense is, he's got to hit some shots. You can't go 0 for 4 from 3. You can't go 0 for 5 from the field. You've got to do it. Now, he did hit 2 free throws, which is great. And, his defense was game-changing. If he wants to be a part of the rotation, he's got to hit shots, at least at an average level, because the defense is high level. I love the defense. We talked about Keyonte George already. Incredible tonight. He's just so much fun, and we're so lucky we get to watch Keyonte George for years to come. What else can be said? He was incredible. John Conchar tonight hit 2 for 3 from 3. This guy is fun. I like having him on the Jazz. I'm glad he's on the Jazz. This was a nice pickup from the Memphis Grizzlies. He's going to help the Jazz with depth. I mean, Utah's going to need a guy like John Conchar just to be able to get some depth on the floor. He plays hard, he plays well, plays smart, and he literally every night gets look at this, 2 blocks, 1 assist. He was guarding Jokic when he was on the floor. How can you not love John Conchar? I don't know. What a great pickup he was in that trade. Isaiah Collier had a solid night. He really knows how to attack the basket, and with a slow whale like Nikola Jokic, he just drives by him like a blur. That was fun to watch with Isaiah Collier. Just a lot of fun. And he succeeds really well against someone like Nikola Jokic, who doesn't protect the rim and is just slow-footed. And so there's where his value is. We saw it tonight. There still were some interesting decisions here and there, but overall just a solid night. From Collier off the bench. That's his best role, is going to be kind of playing that second point guard off the bench and attacking second units, attacking specific coverages and things like that. He may be in the future situational. He may be more. It just depends. He's just got to be able to hit some threes. We'll see if he can figure that out. Some players are able to, some players are not. It feels like he's getting a little better, but he's slumped lately. Sheboy played pretty well in this one. How did all these players play well against Jokic tonight? Just a terrible Jokic performance. Super unethical. Unbelievable. Just poor look for the NBA with what Jokic was doing. But Sheboy played well. Credit to Svi Mikhailiuk, who continues to put up really solid numbers. He's kind of too good for the tank. Yeah, 5 for 10 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3. 15 points for Mikhailiuk. He's going to be a big part of the team next year. You can just tell. And then finally, Bryce Sensabaugh. Basically what everyone thinks Bryce Sensabaugh is, that's what Svi Mikhailiuk is. Right? Like everyone who talks about Sensabaugh, and the reason I've been angry at Mikhailuk is because I've wanted to lose games, and I did not like that he started the season over Ace Bailey. I did not like that. That was silly. But sickness. I don't know. I'm still wondering about that. Maybe it was actually what that was, but. But anyways, 5 for 10 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3. You can't argue with the production. He just hits threes. He's one of those guys at this point where I'm just like, if he's open from 3, it's going in. I just am surprised when it doesn't go in. But he also does a lot of other things to help out. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Can't complain with that. Really nice. So nice to see for this Utah Jazz team. All right, guys, I think that's everything. By the way, Tankathon, let's refresh. Utah, here, let's refresh here. Utah sits at 5th. They've got a big-time game coming up against the Washington Wizards soon. They got to lose. They play the Wizards twice. If they can lose those 2 games, Utah solidifies themselves in the top 4, maybe the top 3. We'll see. Brooklyn also is up, 3 games on Utah, 2 games Washington. We shall see. All right, let me... By the way, I thought I was going to go live tonight and had some technical difficulties. Freaking Photoshop was giving me the biggest headache ever tonight, and we finally figured it out. But I hate technical difficulties, guys. I hate it. So let's do this lottery draw, and let's give a shout out to the All-Stars. So if the lottery was today, what would happen? Utah drops 1 spot and gets the 6th pick. I'll take it. I'd like to be top 5, but let's let someone else make this mistake of getting Kingston Flemings. I'm just not in on him. But Michael Brown Jr. would be really fun. Nah, that's pretty good. He's really, really, really fun. Dang, I'd like to jump in the lottery, but it is what it is. You can do worse than Michael Brown. I'll tell you that much. You could do much worse. Do we got another All-Star? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We got to get we don't have time tonight. We're going to give you your nickname, KSNMW Fave. KSN. Well, think about it. We got a new All-Star, guys. KSNMWFAV. We're going to have to come up with something special for my guy. Welcome to the channel, KSN. We'll be thinking of a nickname. We'll probably have to do it on the next show. Make sure we get that nickname for KSN. But you're definitely getting a shout out, my man. All right, let's give a shout out to the All-Stars. If you'd like to join the channel and support, I would appreciate it. You can hit join below. And if you want to just a small amount, that'd be great. Or if you'd want to be an All-Star, that would be great as well. All right, let's give a shout out to KSNMW Fave, our newest All-Star baby. Ryan Perry, the legend. His name means king. Just Buckets 22. Ball so hard, ball stat. See ya, Lexa later. Jace is the ace. Garner. Steve Areno Stucer. Let him cook sturdy pots. Ezekiel Ricibe, the man from down under. Tyson Price, the price is right. Jordan, the GOAT best roll. Christian House Money to Haas. Robert Hall of Fame, Arcs Poetica. Austin R. Grant, editor extraordinaire. Jazz Forge. And Patrick Akubo, the connoisseur. All right, guys. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Follow on Twitch. I'm going to stop the Twitch stream there. If you're on the podcast, make sure you like and subscribe and give a 5-star review, whatever podcast you're on. Guys, I will